morning. My name is Matt Keelan.
Mike.
And apparently my laptop is connected. There we go. Today we're going to talk about technology tips and tricks to help job seekers. In preparation for today's training, if you brought a laptop and a phone, please pull it out. This is a hands-on workshop. I do not mind. I will also let you know that there's a lot of information here. I think I'm up to 60, 70 slides. So don't worry if you get behind. Don't worry if you can't keep up. If you register for the session, we'll make sure you get a copy of the entire presentation. Okay? All right. So here we go. My goal, by the way, is to make your job search and tech life more effective and fun. So we're going to talk about useful tips and tricks to speed things up. We talked about the hands-on. Some tips are specific to Windows and iPhones, but I'll point out the Mac and Android equivalents where known. Thank you to Jama Ball for helping me with the Android versions. I do not own an Android. Feel free to ask questions during the presentation, but try to keep them really short. All right, so contents has changed since maybe the last time you saw this. We're going to start off with a LinkedIn job seeker scam. Pete Hernandez sent something out in the last week or two, and I'm going to cover that in depth because I think it's important. And then show you some tips and tricks in Windows, Office, Chrome, smartphone, AI, business cards, how to save some money on your tech, and some job search resources. All righty. So the job seeker scam, you may have seen this email, let me tell you what happened. I'll tell you what was in that article, and then I'm going to talk about how I think the article missed the mark. I've added some things that I think are important. So what happened? This job seeker received what looked like a legitimate email about a Zoom interview, and they did their homework. The company was real. They looked it up. The job matched their application. And when they hovered over the Zoom calendar link, it had zoom.com in the URL. So they clicked on it. Next day, Amazon fraud called and said, "Did you purchase $3,000 in gift cards?" Then their mouse began moving by itself. Their PayPal, Walmart, and bank accounts were hacked. Fake accounts were opened in their name. Everything was moved, and the real accounts the fake accounts were then closed. And after stealing more than $65,000 from this person, the bad actor then used this person's LinkedIn account to post a fake job and started doing the same thing to other job seekers under their name. So, how to protect yourself. This is the information that was in that article. Probably seen this before. Enable two-factor authentication on everything. Never click on interview links and emails. If you can, go directly to the company's website. You can't always do that. If you can't, confirm with the interviewer directly. Reach out to them if you have their email, or go to LinkedIn. Never save passwords on shared or unsecured devices. I think we all know that. Set alerts on your bank accounts. Use credit monitoring service, and don't ignore strange behavior. If you see your mouse starting to move on its own, something's wrong. Disconnect from the internet right away and have a professional take a look at your computer. So this is what was in the email. This is now what I think was missing, because as Walt Glass told me, I'm not a problem solver, I'm a problem preventer. I think on this slide, this could have been prevented. The information on this slide could have been used by this job seeker to prevent what happened. So, first of all, know there are hacker tools now based on AI. Fraud GPT, and this is just one of 5 I know of, are really good at sending hyper-realistic emails. They can do it in bulk, and they're very hard to spot. So those days of, the Jamaican prince trying to send you money on shore and full of grammatical errors, gone. So you have to be really, really careful. You have to know how to spot a fake URL. And I think this is what happened to this job seeker. They said they saw Zoom.com in the link when they hovered over it. And it may have looked like this. Zoom.com and then some fake domain.com. Because they saw Zoom.com in the URL, they assumed it was okay. It is not. This is a subdomain trick. For those that aren't technical, the information right before the .com, right there, that fake domain.com, that is the actual website. Anything prior to that, right here, that is a subdomain. So they reversed them. They put Zoom.com first, that's now a subdomain, and the fake domain is the one that they actually went to. I think that's what happened. And when they went there, it launched a payload onto their machine and took over. Some other common fake URL tricks. Sometimes zeros are substituted for O's. Notice when in all caps how much Microsoft.com with the zero looks legit. So watch out for that. Google versus Google. Note the accent mark. They sneak those in. I've also seen links that use the compression. So bit.ly, tiny URL, avoid those. If you can't avoid them because they mask where you're going, there's a tool, checkshorturl.com. You can feed that tiny URL to that website and it'll tell you where you're really going. And so if it's zoom.com or zoom.us, you're good. But if it's going to, something.ru, which is Russia, don't click on it. Why? These fake URLs, whether it's a trick or one of the shortened ones, can download a RAT, which I think is a funny acronym, or remote access Trojan, or remote access software. The common ones are AnyDesk, TeamViewer, or Chrome Remote Desktop. If you see those suddenly appear on your PC, install them immediately, but disconnect from the internet first. Shut off your Wi-Fi. Okay? How'd I do, Pete?
Good.
All right.
Any kind of malware software, any virus that can prevent some of that?
You should always be running antivirus. Windows Defender, which is the built-in antivirus, has gotten much better recently. So you don't have to invest in something like Trend or McAfee, but it is a step up. I continue to use them. It does a lot more than Windows Defender itself, but Defender will protect you from the basics.
What if you're on a VPN? Do you need a Defender?
You do. A VPN just changes your IP address. It doesn't protect you from stuff like this. Any other questions? All right. Let's get in. Oh, go ahead.
I guess one thing that I've also found useful is sometimes you just copy the link and then paste it into like the URL box and then go.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Hold on, we got to
Oh, Ross,
reignite this mic.
my friend Scott
Brandon
has
can
the
do
mic.
it. Oh, I'm right in front of you. Sam has a question.
So I found if you just copy the link and post it in the search window, it's more secure than just clicking it in your email. I found that to be very secure as well.
Okay.
So you don't click it, you just copy the link and you paste it. I found that to be more secure, in general.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you, Scott. Foster.
Sure. I'll stay standing up in case somebody else has got a question as we go.
All right. So let's jump into the fun stuff. All right. Clipboard history. This is my favorite trick or tip. So if it's not already on, go to settings on your Windows PC, search for clipboard, and then click on clipboard settings. If clipboard history isn't on, turn it on. What this does is, and Windows was a long time coming. There used to be utilities for years to do this because it didn't have this feature. It's now built in. It saves your last 25 clips. So when you do a Control C or edit copy, 25 of them deep are at your disposal. So instead of doing a Control V, which just pastes the last one, hit Win V, and it'll pop up with this window on the right. Doesn't show up very well. And you'll see a scrolling list of the last 25 in reverse chronological order. And it can be anything. It can be a GIF, it can be a graphic, it can be text, even a slide. And the nice thing about this is we're all inputting information into job applications online, and we're cutting and pasting from our notes and our resume. And in the past, you used to have to highlight something, paste it, go back to the resume, highlight something, copy, paste. You don't have to do that anymore. You can now go to your resume, highlight your name, Control C, address, Control C, LinkedIn, Control C, on down. Then go over to the target document, usually a job application. Win V, click, Win V, click, Win V, click. Much faster. What's more is that you see the ellipses right there? If you click on that, you can pin this to the clipboard and it'll never, bless you, Jamie, it'll never fall off. It'll be at the bottom. But if there are things that you paste all the time, like your LinkedIn URL, you can save it in the clipboard and it'll always be there. So one thing I like to do is my Zoom intro. So if you're online or in the room and you've already put something in the Zoom chat, hi, I'm Matt Keelan, I'm an IT VP or director, blah, 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 here's my name, please reach out. I have that in my clipboard. So right now, go find that, highlight it, Control C, and then Win V, find it in the list, hit the ellipses, and click Pin. And now you don't have to go find it ever again. It'll always be at your disposal. Questions on that?
Hey, Matt, I've got an insert.
Pardon?
I've got an insert, if you will.
Go for it.
We're going to be talking about a lot of things, responses to job search, but you guys know Jason just now got a text from one of these tollway authority, you old tollway bills and things. Have any of you guys gotten the emails or contacts from them?
Every week.
That's a no-no either. So the long and short of it is, if it sounds funny or looks funny, guess what? Start
It's
laughing.
Thank you, Foster. All right. So I don't know where this happened. I think it was halfway through Windows 10. Windows thought it'd be a good idea to hide scroll bars. So you're doing some research, you got your browser, and you have your mouse over there in the scroll bar, and you're clicking down, you read, and the next time you go to click, the scroll bar's gone. Very annoying. You have to wiggle your mouse just to get the scroll bar back. You can turn that off or on, depending on your version of Windows. It's different. In Windows 10, search for automatically hide scroll bars, turn it off. In Windows 11, search for always show scroll bars and turn that on. They flipped it for some reason. All right, bonus context menu. So this is actually a Zoom meeting chat, this file right here. On my computer, when I right click on it, I get that menu on the left. If I hold down the Shift key and then right click, I get the menu on the right. It's twice as long. And it's an expanded context menu. It's really useful. It'll save you a lot of clicks. You can see that, for instance, I have 7-zip on my computer. So right from this file, I can right click, click on 7-zip, and I can then compress that and send it on to somebody. Right here, I can convert it to a PDF right from that menu. So very helpful. All right, more windows. Double and triple clicks. Most people know that if you double click on a word and you can select it. Not so many people know that if you triple click, it'll highlight an entire paragraph. which is really handy. So gone are the days where you have to like swipe and try to grab that last character and you're constantly missing. Just double or triple click in the middle of any paragraph, it'll highlight the whole thing, then you can move it around, cut and paste and whatever. Here's the cool part. This works literally everywhere. Windows, Mac, Office apps, browsers. This even works on your iPhone and your Android phone. Check it out. OneDrive. I love OneDrive. It comes with your Microsoft account if you have a Microsoft 365 account. And for the personal account, it's only $70 a year. I actually split the personal account across my entire family. I only need 1 terabyte, so wife and son, we all use the same one. If you have a larger family, go for the family at 100 a year, and then everybody gets 1 terabyte. And that's going to become important here in another slide. The nice thing about OneDrive is it's not really a backup, which we'll talk about in a minute, but it's better than nothing. The problem with it is it doesn't store things forever like a true backup does. It's more of a sync. But the nice thing is anything you put on OneDrive, you can then put the OneDrive free app on your phone. I now have access to my entire cache of files on my phone, and I use this all the time, especially in networking meetings. Somebody will ask me for, what was the last one? I have a map of all the defense contractors around Alliance Airport. And so I can pull it up on my phone, I can text it and email it directly from my OneDrive on my phone, right then. Super handy. It supports versioning, so 25 versions of every file. So if you save and you didn't mean to, or you did a file save as and didn't mean to and screwed something up, overwrote something, you can go back to the previous version of any file 25 back. You can share them. When I was helping out Jeff while he was recovering, Walt Glass and I were running North Dallas, I just created a folder on my OneDrive and I shared it with Walt and Jeff. We still need to get you access to that. And we were able to share it in real time. In fact, it supports collaborative editing. So if Walt and I were in the same spreadsheet at the same time, my cell was in red and I could see he was in this cell in green. So version control issues are a thing of the past. And it has a built-in scanner. So I pull up OneDrive, I scan, it creates a multi-page PDF directly. I don't need a scanner. I take a picture of whatever it is, I throw the paper away. I am paperless.
Okay.
Sure.
So what's your opinion between OneDrive and Google Drive?
So Google Drive doesn't do as good a job as OneDrive keeping things on your computer. So I can right click on something and say, you know, keep this on my computer offline so I can get on a plane and I don't have to have access to the internet. I don't think you can do that with Google Drive. You have to download it. It requires a consistent internet. But a lot of the other features are the same. You can share with other people. It's not as secure. The security is harder to nail down. And I'm not sure about the versioning.
Then with regard to the family plan, what's the limit?
So with the
What's the family plan limit? Or, I mean, like, if you have a big family, that
Yeah.
could be a lot of
with the
free
personal
accounts.
plan, I can install the entire Microsoft suite on 5 computers, even though it's meant for one. The family plan, I'm sure it's much more than that, but I don't know what the limit is. Probably 10 or 15. Okay. Any other questions? All right. So, no technology presentation would be complete without a reminder to back up your data. So, like I said a minute ago, OneDrive is not a backup. It's a sync. It's great, and I use it, but I use a backup in addition to OneDrive. OneDrive only keeps your files for 30 days if you delete them, and then they're gone forever. The OneDrive recycle bin is only good for 30 days. So I also use one iDrive. There are a lot of tools out there. This is just the one I've used for a long
I drive
time.
too.
And here's the cool part. Sir,
I drive too.
do you drive? Here's the neat part. There's no reason not to use it. The first 10 gigabyte is absolutely free. Free.
It's quite a bit.
100 gigabyte is $3 a year. I use the 5 terabyte at 100 a year, but I share it. So it doesn't monitor IP addresses. So I have 3 households on that one, and we just split it. There's really no reason not to do this. And it can back up files, photos, contacts, and notes on your smartphone if you're not doing that with iCloud or something else. So please back up. One more point. In the days of spinning hard drives, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, oh, my machine won't boot. Can you give me at least my photos back? In the days of spinning hard drives, I was 100% successful in getting their photos back. In these days of solid state drives, I have a 0 success rate. When they fail catastrophically. There's nothing you can do. I've tried 3-4 times. So they're great. They're fast. They'll speed up a machine much more than a spinning drive, but you got to have your stuff backed up. And it's so cheap, so easy. You download iDrive, it's set it and forget it. It'll just, once you download it, create an account, it just starts working. It takes a guess at where your stuff is and it just starts working. And it's instantaneous. The minute I save a file, it goes up to iDrive and goes up to OneDrive. All right. Quick reminder before we leave Windows and move on to Office. Windows 10 support ends in just a few months, October 14th. You can upgrade to Windows 11 for free right now. You just have to have a Windows 10 license that's valid, and your PC has to meet minimum requirements. It must have things like secure boot and this thing called TPM 2.0. To check for compatibility, and then if you're compatible, download it. You just click on settings and Windows Update on your machine, as if you're updating your machine normally. Now, if your PC is not compatible, you have 3 options. The first is you can get out your wallet. Microsoft has a extended security update program. It's $30 per year per PC. Or if you enable OneDrive, which we just talked about, it's free, up to 5 gigabytes. So if you don't have a Microsoft account and you have less than 5 gig to back up, then you can turn on Windows Backup and you can get it for free. If you have more than 5 gig to back up, it'll bug you. You know, you need more space. You don't have to buy it, but you should. But you really need to be on the M365 plan anyway, so you can stop buying Office and it just keeps getting upgraded, because this program is only available for 1 year. So you're just kicking the can down the road. So you can sign up for this, you can pay your $30, but a year from now, you're going to be forced to upgrade to 11 anyway. Best way to do that, buy a new PC. Unfortunately, when it comes to the secure boot thing, this is a firmware thing, so you might be able to upgrade your computer firmware, and it might be compatible, but this TPM 2.0, that's a chip. Nothing you can do. If your computer doesn't have that chip, you're sunk. Or are you? Hold on. There's a workaround. If you're technically savvy, there's a few tools. This is just 2 of them. Rufus and Flyby11 are both free. They're open source. They trick the Windows 11 installer into thinking it's installing Windows Server, which bypasses all those checks. So you'll be running unsupported. You wouldn't be able to call Microsoft and say, I need some help, but most of us don't do that anyway. But this is a way to get 11 on a machine without secure boot and TPM 2.0. Muthu.
Actually, I have a question. I have a very good, powerful laptop, the 7i, 16 GB RAM, terabyte disk. But when I try to check that compatibility, it says it's not compatible. So something like you said some chip is missing. Can I buy some PCI chip to insert in slot?
Nope. You can't add that chip.
Okay.
Your only option is to buy new or try Rufus or Fly-by-11.
Okay, that last option is something like a software you can install and making fake.
They work in different ways. Rufus will allow you to take a Windows 11 install and make a bootable USB drive,
Okay.
and then you use that to upgrade to 11. Fly-by-11 is a little different, but I don't want to get into it right now.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So that is the option. The third option I can try without buying hardware or something.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So one more
Okay.
question regarding Office 365. Instead of a subscription, is there anything I can buy in a one-time purchase for Office 365? I pay a little extra, ready to pay.
That's
I don't
the
want to
whole reason for Microsoft 365. It's a subscription. You just pay the $70 a year. So gone are the days where you buy Office for $3.99,
Right.
and then Office 2017, and then 3 years later you're gonna buy it again and get Office 2020. Those days are gone.
That's it. Okay, no other alternatives. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good segue though. Thank you, Muthu. We're now moving on to Office. So this is my favorite Office tip. We're all familiar with putting, fun GIFs in your texts in your phones. You can now do that in Windows, and you do that with Win period. I don't know why they chose Win period. Should be something more fun, but you can hit Win period, and you'll get this. Depending on whether you have Windows 10 or 11, one of these windows. And you can just start typing and search for, smile or thumbs or whatever. And once you've inserted it in your document, you can highlight it and increase the font, and it'll make it bigger. So with Windows 10, you get that thing on the left. But Windows 11, you get two things you don't get in Windows 10. So you can insert GIFs, which is that guy, and you can access your clipboard history that we just talked about. So you can do WinV, but if you do Win period, you get everything. Special characters, GIFs that you can search for, emoticons, and your clipboard history all in one place. And yes, I added Blinky Guy to this presentation using this trick. I literally searched for Blinky Guy, and there he is. Very cool. So have some fun. I get questions all the time. How did you add that to your email? Secret. I'd have to tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. All right. Next Office trick. Searching. I don't know about you, but I get 250 emails a day. So to quickly find something amongst all the job stuff that's coming in is very important and can save a lot of time. So that search box at the top of your Outlook, if you use Outlook, this also works in Gmail. Thank you, Jema. You can say from : Steve or from : myfavoriterecruiter.com. You can search for an URL and you'll get all the emails that match that criteria. Or the other day I had lunch with Chris. Oh, I forgot. Where were we going? : Chris, lunch invitation. Bam, there it is. You can search for a subject, a date, and Boolean operators are supported, so and, or not. And you can even include deleted items if you so choose. Signatures, I love them. I have 9. So once you pull up an email, if you right-click directly on your signature, you can then get this shorthand menu and left-click on the one that you want. I'm a Crime Watch captain. I have a default. Sometimes I just want to say FYI. I'm just forwarding something. I don't want to take up that space, chew up my hard drive. So I right-click FYI, and it wipes it out and just puts FYI. KPG is a side hustle. None. Sometimes I don't want anything. I want it blank. And so that's what none is. And I added one the other day for spam. I've gotten a lot of spam lately. And sometimes somebody will send it more than once. Hey, are you looking for some marketing help? Hey, are you looking for some accounting help? And I'll say, no, thank you. And then they'll hit me again. And I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this. So one of my signatures references the FTC website. And I say, this is an illegal email. You must provide an address. You must provide an opt-out link. You don't. This is illegal. Here are the guidelines. If you contact me again, I will report you to the FTC. That's all in signature. And it works 100% of the time. I have never heard from somebody after that. So, and it's so quick and easy. Right click, left, send, I'm done, I move on. It's so nice. So yeah, we're connected. Just send me a reminder. I need to add that. It's probably right now, it's the most used signature I have right now, which is kind of sad. All right, Office. Have you ever been working on your resume and you move a line or you move a paragraph and then the whole thing gets messed up? All the formatting just goes out the window. It helps to know that formatting in Word is stored in the paragraph mark, but you can't see them. Well, if you know where to look. So click on this little paragraph mark, and then everything shows up. Even the spaces become little dots, and then you get the paragraph mark. So now when you highlight, if you don't want the formatting to follow, because if you double click or triple click, and it'll, as we talked about earlier, highlight the entire line and the entire paragraph, it'll include that paragraph mark. Just back up one space, avoid the paragraph mark, grab that text, put it someplace else. No formatting changes. Big help. Quick access toolbar. I use these like crazy. I actually know where they're stored. I actually back them up with my iDrive. So when I move to a new computer, I can restore them to my new computer. I'll pick on Excel, but I have this in every office. I call Excel right-click hell. My middle finger is tired after 10 minutes in Excel because there's just so many right-clicking. So everything that I do often is now in the quick access toolbar. And all you do is click on that guy right there, and that'll customize the toolbar. Everything that's in the menu is available, and you just click and insert it in the order you want it there at the top. So if I want to insert a row, which I do all the time, I just highlight the row, click that. No right click, left click, in fact, I created a macro the other day to copy and insert copy. I often want to duplicate a row. I created a macro for that. Well, AI did. And then I assigned it to a button, and I put the button in my toolbar. So now that's there as well. But these are the things I do most often. Page setup, paint preview, kind of in the order I use them. Quick print, insert, delete row, insert column, delete column, spell check. I have these in Word, every Outlook window. And by the way, every Outlook window is different. You'll have a different quick access toolbar for each one. So the new mail window is different than the read email window, okay? So you got a few to set up. But once you set them up, it'll save you gobs of time. All right. It's really easy to make the home or the ribbon collapse. Not so easy to bring it back. I've discovered that you can double click on the home tab and it'll open and close it. Real quick. OneNote. If you don't use it, start now. It's like the best thing. I've been using it for over a decade. It's part of Office. I have OneNote on my phone, the app, and my OneNotes are stored in my OneDrive. So they're available to me everywhere. So just like I have my files everywhere, my OneNotes for the last 12 years, I think now, are also on my phone. And I'm a list person. I have lists for everything. It's connected to Outlook. So in Outlook, you can click on OneNote and on the calendar, you're about to have a meeting. You double click on that. At the top, you may not have seen it, is a OneNote button. Click on OneNote, it'll launch it. It'll ask you what folder you want to put the notes for this meeting, and it fills in the top for you. You got the date and the time, the attendees. You can open up the topic and all of that, and then you just start taking notes. And it saves every time you hit enter, and it's forever. It's a beautiful thing. I use it for everything. It's got a 3-ring binder kind of format. So there's notebooks, and then a section is like a tab, and then there's pages within the tabs. When I'm working, I typically have a notebook for a client, and then the sections are, meetings and other things, and then a page is every meeting within the meeting tab. And it's fully searchable. You can search for a page across a tab, one notebook, or all notebooks. I have gigabytes of OneNotes, and with one box, I can search across all of them. Super powerful. All right. So this just changed about a month ago. This used to be a pin, and now it's called a favorite. In Office documents, you can save the ones that you use most often. I've got a bunch, especially for taxes. I got spreadsheets for, 2025, 24, 23. So I pin or make them a favorite. The thing is, Microsoft saw fit to hide them from you. You actually don't see those two icons until you hover over them. So you don't know they're there. If your mouse never went over there, you would know this existed. Thank you, Microsoft. Love-hate relationship. So when you click on File in Word or Excel or PowerPoint, this is what you get. And it defaults to recent. So, and this is great, but what if there's something that you open literally all the time? You can hover to the right, and you got those two. You got the forward, and then you got the star. If you click on star, then the next time you hit File, then click Favorites. That's where all the favorites show up. And again, you can do that in any Office document. I have probably 10 in every app that I use all the time. It saves a lot of time. Normally, I'm going to File Explorer, right? Navigate down, 4 or 5 levels deep, find the file, scroll. Not anymore. Save you a lot of time. All right, moving on to Chrome. Did you know you could right-click and then click Duplicate to make a copy of a tab? Now, here's the best part. It comes with all its browsing history attached to it. I don't know how many times I've been doing some investigation on a company I'm about to interview with. I'm on their website. I get down 10 levels deep. I'm like, ooh, I need to visit that again. But I want to go back to something I saw 5 clicks ago. But I don't want to lose that. Duplicate the tab. So you get a new tab right next to the old one. I can now then drill back, hit back, get to that thing. The first tab still has that place. And then I go down a rabbit hole, another rabbit hole. Ooh, okay, I want to save that one too. Duplicate again. By the time I'm done, I got 10 tabs open in 10 different places on that website.
I just want to point out, I don't like Chrome, but it's about a good browser, you do the same thing with. It's not exclusive to Chrome.
That's right. Edge, Firefox, they all have this feature. I should point that out. Yep. It's a pretty universal thing. So, duplicate. It'll save you some time and prevent you from losing things. Have you ever accidentally closed a tab? You can right-click in the empty space up at the top of your Chrome toolbar, and I think it's the same in Edge and Firefox, and then left-click, reopen closed tab. And there's no limit. You can close 10 tabs. You can do this 10 times, and they'll all come back. And it's just too easy for that little X in the tab to hit, right? So to prevent that from happening, you can pin a tab. If you right click on a tab, left click on pin, they're smaller than normal tabs, but they go to the left. You can reorder them, and when you launch Chrome, they're always there in the same place that you left them. And they don't have the X in them, so you can't accidentally close them. You have to right click them and then click on exit. And because there's no tab switcher, anyone an Alt Tab fan? Alt Tab, go back and forth between the last two open applications in Windows. There's no tab switcher in Chrome. There's no, until now. There's an add-in called Just a Tab Switcher. That's all it does. If you install this as a Chrome add-in, if you press Alt-Q, and the Q is right next to the tab, so Alt-Tab, Alt-Q, very close together, that'll toggle between the last two Chrome tabs. I don't know about you, but I've got 50 tabs open at any one time. And so when I open a new one, sometimes it's right next to the old one. Sometimes it's at the end, and I have a hard time finding where I was. Alt-Q will then take me to the last tab that was open, so I can just go back and forth between the last two tabs. Questions? All right. A note on privacy. I love Chrome. I use it, but I use other browsers, and here's why. Their incognito mode, guess what? It's not private. They want you to think it's private, but it's not. All it does is delete your browsing history, and only after you close the incognito window. Moreover, they've been collecting data on you for years in incognito mode. As of last month, there was a lawsuit. The feds sued in 2020. They agreed to delete or de-identify. So you know they're not going to delete it. Your browsing history for 136 million users while in incognito mode. They kept it. The deal's been finalized by the court, but neither the court nor Google has confirmed they've actually deleted the data. So if I don't want to get lots of ads popping up because of a search, I don't use Chrome. I use something else. So what can you use?
Say that again, Mike.
Pardon?
Would you say what you just said again?
So if you don't want ads popping up as a result of a search, you can use incognito mode, but it's not really working. So I recommend two things. One, use a different search engine. You can use duckduckgo.com instead of google.com in Chrome, and it will not track you, and it won't serve you ads for things that you've searched for. If you want to dump Chrome altogether, there's a browser from DuckDuckGo that obviously uses the DuckDuckGo search engine, and then you're completely divorced from Chrome.
So what DuckDuckGo advertises is true, huh?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't trust none of them, so it's good to hear you say that.
You are right to be skeptical in your technical daily life across the board.
One thing I might mention, and I think I mentioned this before in another class, but if you are in DuckDuckGo and you want to do a Google search without them like tracking you, you should be able to type in a G exclamation mark when you do a search, and it actually takes you straight to Google without them being able to track you.
Wow.
G exclamation point, enter. They'll take you to Google, but they won't be able to track you from because it came from DuckDuckGo.
Interesting. Would you send me a LinkedIn on that?
Yes.
I'd like to check that out and include it.
Double check. If you may, I've been doing it recently, but it seems to be working. So,
Thank you, Jason. All right. There's some other browsers that you can use as well: Brave, Firefox, and Tor. Tor is the thing that you use to surf the dark web. It's just a modified version of Firefox. So if you want to go completely anonymous, Tor is the guy. Don't worry, you can't accidentally run across things on the dark web. It's just slow because you're making 2-3 hops to your destination. All right. This is very important. Please stop using Google and Facebook credentials to log into other apps or websites. This is called social sign-in. Have you ever read the agreement when it pops up and says, oh, would you like to use Google? Would you like to use your Facebook credentials? Why, sure, I know that password. How easy. Thank you very much. Well, you've just signed an agreement that allows those two websites to share all your data. And there are very few instances where that's appropriate. So that agreement allows the sites to share your name, age, address, email address, locations, likes, preferences, your demographic data, where you've been driving, and worst of all, your friends. Yes, you're dragging your friends down with you when you do this. And that's why you're getting emails from friends that they didn't really send. So don't do it. The biggest danger is that if your primary Google or Facebook account is breached, all connected accounts are now at risk. So what to do? The next slide actually contains instructions on how to break that link. Going forward, just use unique credentials. You can use your same email address, but when it says, do you want to use Google or Facebook, click the one, use email. Create a unique set of credentials. You can use the same email, but you're not linking it to your Google or Facebook account. And then you're good. And use a password manager. I know it's convenient to do that, but please stop. In addition, every site needs to have a unique password. The way to do that easily, there's my trend. Chrome will store passwords, but it stops there. OnePass, Dashlane, KeyPass, LastPass, and RoboForm do a lot more. They'll actually store all your information, your credit cards, your loans, I got everything in there. And it's all, I use RoboForm, by the way, have for 10, 15 years. And it's great because it has folders. So I share it with my wife. And so I have a folder, she has a folder. We have a travel folder. We have a folder for our side gig. And it keeps everything nice. And yes, they have an app. And so it's all here. It's all military grade encryption. I've never had a problem. LastPass, I should point out, 5 years ago had a break-in. So do with that information what you will. But I've never had a problem. Just make sure you put a really strong password as the primary password to get to all other passwords. Okay? I won't go through this, but here's the instructions. Don't be scared and go and delete your Google credentials for LinkedIn if you shared it with them. Just follow these instructions to break the link. You don't have to recreate an account and lose your profile with that vendor. All right, love this. This is a Google add-in called ChatGPT for Google. The cool part about this is you don't have to go to another tab to get ChatGPT results. They show up on the right. So I searched Google for Microsoft 365 plans. I got the Google results on the left. I got the ChatGPT results on the right, side by side. Very cool and free. Some other Chrome extensions I like, AdBlock Plus. The best part about that is it allows you to unblock individual websites. So if you go to USA Today, it wants you to pay unless you turn blocking off. You can turn off blocking just for that website with just a click. And then you can see everything for free. Preparing for this, I was very disillusioned to learn that FakeSpot is now defunct. FakeSpot used AI to analyze product reviews at Amazon, Best Buy, eBay, Sephora, Shopify, Walmart. It's discontinued literally as of today. It was bought by Mozilla, who creates Firefox. We don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's no longer available. I looked for some alternatives. There were a few in the Chrome store, but they've all been turned off because they don't meet Chrome's requirements or Google's requirements. So I don't have a alternative for you, but I'm looking for one. But this is really cool stuff. So if you want to look at it till the end of the day, install it. When you go to Amazon, and you see that 4.5 rating, there will be a letter grade next to it, A, B, C, D, or F. And it'll tell you how reliable, using AI, that rating is. If it's an A, it's great. It'll stay at 4.5. But if it's a C, it'll decrement the rating, take it down to a 2.2 or whatever. I've saved more money and more aggravation returning things using this tool. So hopefully in the future, I'll find something else. You've all heard of Jobalytics and JobScan. Those are websites that you can use to optimize your job description and your resume, but they actually have Chrome extensions. So you don't have to go there. Just like FakeSpot, you can do it within the browser while you're on the website of the company that you're trying to fill out a job application for. This last one, Mail To, I love this. It sits up in your tray in your browser. I often run across a job that isn't good for me, but it's good for somebody I know. So I click on Mail To. It launches Outlook. It launches a new window. It puts the name of the article in the subject, and it puts the link to the article in the body. And I just type in Meredith, sent. Done. It's super cool and saves a lot of cutting and pasting and free. All right. And as Pete pointed out, Edge can utilize Chrome extensions. You just go to Edge, go to the Chrome store in Edge, and if it prompts you, it doesn't always, allow extensions from other stores, you just say yes. All right. All right, moving on to phones. Let's save some money. Pull out your phone, click on Settings, your name at the top, and Subscriptions. You will see everything you're currently subscribed to. About 4 months ago, a woman sent me a LinkedIn after the fact and said, Matt, you just saved me $250 because the husband and the kids had signed up for some things, and she signed up for something that she completely forgot about. It was a free trial, and then she forgot to delete it. So scan that list. If there's anything you don't recognize, you don't want, click on it, and you can hit delete, remove it from your account. If you have an Android, you can do that in the Play Store or online at payments.google.com. Live voicemail. So in this day and age of spam calls, this is very helpful. It's usually on by default, but if you're running iOS 17 or later and you want a real transcription of the voicemail as somebody's leaving it, go into Settings, App, Phone, Live Voicemail, and turn it on. And later versions of Android phones have this feature as well. So if you don't recognize the number, but you think it might be that recruiter you've been trying to get a hold of, you can let them start leaving a message. And then if it's, hey, I'm Sally, the recruiter you've been trying to get a hold of, you can quickly tap accept, interrupt them, and say, oh, I'm sorry, I just got to my phone. How can I help you? All right. Did you know your phone had a trackpad? Open your keyboard or a new text or a new email. Type in some text. And then press and hold your space bar. You'll notice the keyboard went gray. The keyboard is now a trackpad. You just, without lifting your finger, just start moving around, and you can put your insertion point anywhere in your message. Best part is, while you're doing this, it turns off spell check. So all those squiggly red lines go away. So, if you just click on one, you can't put your cursor there. It pops up and says, do you want to replace it with these 10 things? That gets turned off while you're using this. This also works inside any text entry box, any web form. All right, one-handed typing made easy. So don't do this while you're driving. We'll get to that in a minute. If you open your keyboard and down here in the lower left-hand corner, tap and hold that icon. It'll be an emoji or ABC or a world. If you click on that, actually you press and hold, you can move your keyboard from the center to the left or the right. It just squishes it to the right if you're right-handed, squishes it to the left if you're left-handed. So if you're in a position where your other hand is full, you need to be able to type, but you can't reach, especially if you have a larger phone, then it'll squish it to the left or to the right. All right. We can now recover deleted texts. This was a few major versions ago, not new, but pull up your text messages. In the upper left-hand corner, they got an edit. Click on edit. You can now select message, edit pins, and show recently deleted. Click on that. You can click all the recently deleted text and bring them back for 30 days. This is just for fun. If you hold down the 0 key, you can access the degree symbol, as in 105 degrees. Undo. So have you ever been working on a very long email or a very long LinkedIn reply, and then you accidentally highlighted it, hit a key, and then it went away? I've done that so many times. You can now bring it back from the dead with undo. All you do is shake your phone, and you'll get that option, or 3-finger swipe left. And it doesn't have to be on the text. It can be anywhere on your screen. 3-finger swipe left. Yes, if you swipe right, it's a redo. But great if you accidentally delete something. Text replacement. So you want to make it easy for recruiters and anyone to get a hold of you. So I put my name, my email address, and my phone number at the bottom of every single LinkedIn message. On a phone, I do that with text replacement, and I have lots of text replacements. If you go into settings, general, keyboard, text replacement, you can create shortcuts, and as soon as you type them, it expands to the other thing that you told it to expand to. I have one called LISIG, LinkedIn Signature. When I type that, it immediately becomes Matt Keelan, pipe, matt@keelan.us, pipe 214-663-4592. Sent. So kind of like we were talking in Windows a few minutes ago, this is how you do it on a phone. And it's unlimited. You put as many of these shortcuts in as you want. Really useful. All right. This is a new slide. Reboot. It pains me that I have to shut down my phone. And then, I have to guess. Is it completely shut down because the screen is black and I'm mashing the button on the side? And it's like, no, it's not done shutting down yet. So I wait and I try it again. Okay, there it is. Why is there no reboot button? I don't know. Well, now you can make one. Tap on shortcuts. Shortcuts comes with iPhone. Click on the plus sign, then click on controls, and then click on shutdown. Now, if you then tap on shutdown, you can change it to restart and then hit done. You now have a new shortcut in the Shortcuts app. Now you type the ellipses next to your new shortcut and the down arrow at the top of the screen. You can rename it to reboot or restart, change the icon, change the color, and then you can add it to your home screen. So I have it on my home screen. I don't have to go into shortcuts. And mine looks like that. I don't know about you, but when I need to reboot, I need to do it quick. It's because something's not working, right? And so I just want it to reboot, just like my PC. There's a reason I don't shut down and then push the button. So now I can just hit reboot. I get a message, are you sure? Yes, boom, it reboots. Older versions of Android have this built in. Right, Jama? All right. Here's a little AI that's been in your iPhone for quite a while. If you want to identify something in your photos, you swipe up on the photo from the middle. I should add that. You swipe down from the bottom, it closes the app. Your iPhone will actually identify food, animals, plants, even laundry tag meanings. For food, it'll even give you recipes based on the pick. I did it with a piece of lasagna the other day, and it gave me about 10 recipes to make that piece of lasagna. This is a friend's dog, and it correctly recognized it as a Pomeranian. This spring, we were planting some flowers, and my wife said, the tag fell off this plant. What is it? And is it full sun? I don't know. Took a picture and said, oh, that's a phalaenopsis or whatever. Full sun. Okay, great. Put it here. Done. Super fun. All right, driving safety. A friendly reminder, holding your phone while you're moving in Texas is illegal. It's way beyond not using your phone in a school zone. It's way beyond not texting. You can't hold it at all. If you're at a light, you can dial. But if it's right here and you're moving, you're breaking the law, distracted driving. And if something bad happens, you'll be liable. So don't do it. Use your tech. Sir.
About all those annoying people that you see holding it out here and driving.
It's in their hand.
Okay?
It's in their hand.
Against my goat every time.
Yep.
Phone holder.
Yeah. And they're using their speaker. The rest of the people in your car don't want to hear that. I love it when they put it on speaker in a restaurant or at the store. Like, I don't want to hear both sides. It's bad enough I'm hearing your side. Yeah. So what do? Don't be late for that interview and get a ticket for distracted driving. Use your tech, connect to Bluetooth, and use these commands. This is just the scratching the surface. Here are things that I do. I forgot the Z. Hey Siri, dial Pete Hernandez mobile. Calling Pete Hernandez mobile. Ring. Hey Siri, text Foster Williams, I'm on my way. Foster Williams, I'm on my way. Send it? Yes. Okay, sent. Now I'm having a conversation with my phone. It's a beautiful thing. Hey Siri, read my message. I saw a text pop up because I have a magnet, about right here. So I can see the phone out of the corner of my eye, but I can see the road in my peripheral vision. Read my messages. It'll read the text messages for me. And again, conversation. Do you want to hear the next one? Hey Siri, navigate to home. If I stop there, it'll use the built-in Apple Maps. And of course, you have to go into settings and set up your home and that address. I use it all the time. When you land, you're going to use this one. So this time I say, use Google Maps. Now it's going to find the nearest Krispy Kreme and use Google Maps instead of Apple Maps. Hey Siri, for the music buffs, play song, album, artist using Spotify or Pandora. It'll just start playing. Hey Siri, set an appointment for 3 p.m. pick up dry cleaning. Oh, you have a conflict at 4. Create it anyway? Yes. Okay, created. You have an appointment set up at 3 p.m. pick up dry cleaning. Again, a conversation. Very smart. I use that all the time when I know need to do something, I'm driving, I won't remember, I'm out and about, and of course I don't want to break the law and not be hands-free. And if you cannot help yourself, hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb while driving. The accelerometers in your phone will figure out you're driving and automatically turn Do Not Disturb on and off when you're driving. How cool is that? And then when you stop for a period of time, it'll pop up and say, while you were on Do Not Disturb, and give you the list of things that happened while you were muted. William.
And a reminder to those on Android that use Android, replace Hey Siri with Hey Google.
Yes, correct. Google will do this, different prompt.
That's why it doesn't work on my Android.
You need to download a thing called Google Assistant, and it'll work on your phone. All right. Mobile apps for your phone. These are all free. There's a lot of job seeker apps beyond LinkedIn. Career Builder, Glassdoor, Indeed are all out there if you want them. Camcard allows you to take a picture of a business card and it turns it into a contact on your phone. Calendly, I think we've all used that to schedule something. TripIt for Award Warriors, Seat Guru, FlightAware. I've been using TripIt for like 15 years. It's amazing. Speed Test, help you find the fastest Wi-Fi hotspot if you have more than one. We talked about OneDrive having a built-in PDF scanner. If you don't use OneDrive, Adobe Scan is probably your next best option. It does a good job and it's free. Spam. So in addition to the AT&T app I have that helps block some spam, I think it's Armor, something Armor. I also have No More Robo. There's a few of them out there. It's $2 a month, but between the two, it got rid of at least half my spam. There's AI apps for your phone. ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude. Probably Perplexity is out there. I'll have to check. And then there's some AI keyboards, which are fun. They're built in, and so you can access them directly from your keyboard with that little icon in the lower left-hand corner. Again, that prevents you from going to the ChatGPT app, creating something, copying and pasting it back. You can do it directly from your text or your email. You type something, press that keyboard, and you say finesse or make more formal or whatever, and it'll do it right from there. It is. Is it a keyboard or just an app? Just an app? Okay. Thank you, Meredith. All right. LinkedIn QR shortcut. This was added to Android finally, recently. If you want to find that QR code so somebody can scan you, or you pull up your camera so you can scan them. If you social media, press and hold the LinkedIn button, in that shortcut is scan QR code. So you don't have to go into the search bar and hit the thing on the right and then do something else to find that QR code. You can do it right from the icon. All right, ready to talk about AI? Love AI. Primary players, I think we all know these. ChatGPT, first out of the market, one of the best. Copilot, that's the thing that's been infiltrating your Microsoft Office. That used to be called Bing Chat. Gemini by Google, formerly Bard. Claude by Anthropic, and then Perplexity by Perplexity. Those are, I have the first 4 pinned in my Google Chrome. The free version of ChatGPT 3.5 does have a knowledge cutoff date of 2021. So you can pay $20 a month and get the whole kit and caboodle. It can get more recent information if you tell it to. So if I say, what are the job market trends in 2025, it'll say searching the internet, and it'll go get it. Or who played in the Super Bowl. It'll give me the very latest Super Bowl, not 2021 Super Bowl. Also, you should know that Copilot uses ChatGPT 4.0 for free. You're not going to get the same results between ChatGPT and Copilot, but the engine is there. And so you don't have to force it to look at something after 2021. Know that Gemini and Claude have much larger prompt limits. I think Gemini is the largest at 1 million tokens. A token is roughly 4, 5, 6 characters. So if you ever run into, that's the reason I upgraded to ChatGPT Plus, is because I hit a limit one night, and there's all kinds of limits. I didn't hit the prompt limit. I was creating some cover letters based on job description and resume, and it said, "Oh, you hit the limit. You can't do this until 2." It was 2 in the morning, so it was 2 the next afternoon. So that's when I bought in. But there's a token limit as well. So if you hit that with ChatGPT or Copilot, go to Gemini or Claude. I can almost promise you won't hit their limit. All right. And by the way, you own the output of all those AIs. But you want to check the terms of use for other AIs. But I looked at these 5. You specifically own the output. So if you have one of these, write a book. You can legally go to Amazon and publish your own book based on that information. You own it. Okay? All right. I firmly believe this. IBM said this in 2023. AI will not completely replace humans, but those who use AI will replace those who do not. Learn it. Play with it. Put ChatGPT on your phone today if you don't have it already. Use it for 1 week instead of Google. It'll change your life. I promise. You ask Google a yes or no question, you don't get it. It gives you a list of websites. You ask ChatGPT a yes or no question, you will get yes or no. And here's why. Because it summarizes all the information across all those websites for you. You don't have to click into all the websites like a Google search. You also want to be prepared for this question in an interview. Have you used AI? And you do not want to say, yes, I used it to create my resume. That would be bad. I actually had somebody at the pit crew take it a step further. Of course I use it. I used it to create my resume. I used it to research your company. And I used it to create the questions I'm going to ask you at the end of the interview.
Oh, wow.
Don't be that guy. Yeah, it was bad. So obviously we straightened them out. You want to be able to say you used it in a professional environment. It's okay you used it to create your resume, but say something generic like I used it to create prose, which, is all writing. But I also use it to do work. I use it to create complex Excel formulas. I use it to summarize contracts before I sign them. I use it to do research across many websites to save me a lot of time. I use it to parse Zoom chats and pull all the information out, which we'll get to in a minute. So I don't have to do it manually and read all the, I was born in.
Question.
Sure.
Is there enough left, or we can go to break and have enough left to, when we come back, to talk about it some more?
Yes, we're on slide 42 of 65.
Good.
Does it break down? I know. That's why I tell people in advance, you're going to get a copy of this. It's a lot. But the last 15 slides are fast. It's just all the hyperlinks I've collected in my job search. And we don't go through all those one by one. That's just more of a reference. So we'll take a break, part 2, or do we want to finish AI? can I finish AI and then let me finish AI and then we'll take a break. Okay. So if you're not using ChatGPT due to privacy controls, privacy concerns, you can go into data controls and you can turn off chat history and training, but then it turns off your, thank you, Jama, your history. So you don't want to leave that off because once you have an account, it learns about you, right? So it learns your writing style. You can actually say, create a profile on me. Really interesting. It came up with things on me I have no idea how it knew. It was stuff way beyond my resume and the prompts that I gave it. I don't know, kind of creepy, but all right. Prompts to use in every phase of your job search in chronological order. Review and refine my resume. Create a LinkedIn About section in less than 2,600 characters based on my resume. Why? The About section is limited to 2,600 characters. Using what you know about me from my resume and LinkedIn profile, create a professional LinkedIn banner that represents my strengths and abilities. And oh, by the way, use colors that complement my profile picture. Angela Feisler did this. That was her prompt, and she gave me permission to include her banner as an example, and there it is. It's beautiful. She used it unadulterated. It was the right size. It was the right everything. And I think it did a great job.
Yeah.
She's a strategic learning and PMO director, if you can't read that. And her banner says, Learning Done Right. Angela Feisler, Strategy, Structure, Results. It's beautiful. AI in a few seconds.
It is. Wow.
Create a compelling cover letter based on my resume and job description. This is what I do most because this is so time consuming. But then you want to finesse it, right? AI stands for what? Artificial intelligence. But it's not a substitute for actual intelligence. I stole that from a friend of mine. What?
I said, that's true.
Yep. So look at it, make sure it's not lying about you, do a fact check. If you don't want it to hallucinate, put don't hallucinate, and it'll turn off the interpolation. I've also noticed that there's a lot of M dashes in ChatGPT responses. Lots of M dashes. That's the long hyphen. So I turn those off. So I often say don't hallucinate, and don't include any M dashes. Because that's kind of a dead giveaway that you used AI to create it. I should add that. Jama, would you send that to me? Include no M dashes in prompts. I want to add that. Send it to my LinkedIn as a reminder to add it to the M dashes. Create a 10-second elevator speech based on my resume. It'll give you something you can actually say in 10 seconds. If you come to South Lake, you know what I'm talking about. I'm interviewing with American. Give me some company information on bullet point format to help me prepare, including recent news and company culture. This prompt will give you this much information to prepare for your interview, all summarized, beautifully bulleted. Then, obviously, you want to look at some current trends to look smart in your interview. What are some questions the interviewer in the airline industry will likely ask me? So you can be prepared for those. Provide some good questions I should ask the interviewer in the airline industry. Summarize the latest 10K for American Airlines. I changed this prompt yesterday. This used to say, insert the URL for the 10K that you found on YouTube. You don't have to do that anymore. You can say, just go get the latest one. It'll find it and then summarize it for you. I forgot to change this one. So the earnings call, you can do the same thing here. Summarize the latest earnings call for American Airlines. It'll go find it on YouTube or wherever and then give you a summary. And then every once in a while I get asked, what good business books have you read lately? Ooh, I've read some, but I don't remember all of them. So you want to summarize the book, Good to Great by Jim Collins, or Malcolm Gladwell's Blink. Okay, just in case you're asked. You want to look smart. And then when it comes to training, you got some time, recommend online courses, resources, and platforms to help me develop my project management skills. And then thanks to Rusty Wright for this one, I stole it. This is where you can summarize your Zoom chat. Parse the name, title, industry, LinkedIn, email address, phone number from the following Zoom chat, put it in tabular format, and sort it alphabetically. And then you paste the chat, and you get a table with just that information, without all the, hey, I was born in, Alabama. And then you copy and paste that into a spreadsheet, and now you have a target list. You can scan it, go, oh, that guy's in IT, that guy's in IT, ooh, that guy works at that company, or did work at this company. And then it gets you through it. Everyone listened to Pat Romboletti on Thursday night? She has over 500 people on her Zoom. That's where I learned about the Chat GPT limit. I took that Zoom chat, put it in Chat GPT, and it went, no. So I went over to Gemini, and it did just fine. All right. Almost done with AI. While not a replacement for Pit Crew, the Chat GPT app has not just a speech to text feature, so you can save some typing. It has a conversation mode. This little audio wave icon right here, I'm going to demonstrate. You can use this to help you prepare for an interview. Hopefully I got a good internet connection. Hi.
It happens to the best of us. If your connection's acting up, you might want to check your router or maybe give it a quick reboot. Sometimes that does the trick and gets everything back on track.
Okay, thanks. But what I really want to do today is have you help me prepare for a job interview for a project management position at American Airlines by asking me questions and then rating my responses.
Absolutely. Let's dive into it. I'll throw some common project management interview questions your way, and you can give your responses. After each one, I'll give you some feedback so we can fine-tune your answers. Let's get started.
Ask me a question.
All right, let's jump right in. How about this one? Can you describe a project you managed from start to finish and how you handled any unexpected challenges along the way?
So we were installing a new ERP system. The biggest challenge was our primary sponsor died during COVID, and so we had to scramble, but we ended up finishing on time and on budget, despite that, with copious amounts of documentation and Scrum meetings every morning.
That's a pretty intense challenge to navigate, but it sounds like you handled it really well. Highlighting how you adapted to such a major change and still delivered on time and on budget is a big plus. You might want to emphasize the specific steps you took, like how you managed the team's morale or how you communicated with stakeholders, just to give even more depth to your answer. Overall, great job.
Thank you. How do you think I did on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say you're off to a strong start, probably around an 8. You gave a clear example of a challenging situation and how you handled it, which is exactly what interviewers look for. With a bit more detail on your decision-making process and how you kept everyone on the same page, you could definitely push that score even higher.
Thank you very much. Free. Now, you can do even better. You can add things like based on a job description. That would be ideal. Give it the job description, then go into voice mode, and then you'll get more pertinent stuff. Or in an industry, or ask technical questions, ask behavioral questions, scenario-based questions, industry trend questions, so that you're ready across the board. All right. We are done with AI.
All right. Ooh, that's scary stuff.
All right. Quick note about business cards. So you don't really need these in networking events. Everyone's got their LinkedIn on their phone and they're scanning QR codes. But this doesn't help you at Home Depot. I can't tell you how many times I'm dressed like this. I go to Home Depot on the way home and somebody comes up and he says, "You're a little overdressed for Home Depot." Oh yeah, I'm in transition and for a job. You got to be careful. In transition means a lot of things these days. I'm in transition for a job. Oh, what are you looking for? Oh, IT VP directors, yeah, depending on the size of the company. Oh, I know a guy. And then I'm ready. Now, I like to put my skill set on the back. Some don't. It's up to you, but that's what I like to do. And when I send out the deck, I'll also send out the Word documents that I use as a template for this. You can go buy this Avery 8869 cardstock at Office Depot. You get 160 of them for $20. Pretty easy. I like to print my own. You can get glossy, real fancy stuff if you want. All right. Domains. My email address is matt@keelan.us. I'm a technologist. I think it makes me look techie. So if you're in an industry where that would help you, know that GoDaddy domains start at $20 a year. Pretty cheap. And if you want to connect email to that, that's about $35 a year. So not a lot. And there are a lot of other domains, hundreds of them, for other things like .art, .design, .pro, .tech. So go out there, find one if that means something to you. All right, let's save some money. A lot of tech companies offer discounts you may be able to take advantage of, especially when you're in transition for a job. AT&T, believe it or not, they offer $10 per month per line. If you are AARP, active military, veterans, first responder, nurses, physicians, teachers, union members, and students, somebody in your household is going to fall into one of those categories. Take advantage of it now, and then gravy after that. Employees of corporate AT&T customers, when you get a job, may receive a discount of $10 per month per line. I qualified for this 3 jobs ago. I'm still getting it. So I get $30 off my bill every month, and I have been for 14 years. They don't check. So check that out. Verizon, same thing. They don't do the per line, but it's $25 per month for kind of the same list. T-Mobile also has plans. Microsoft software, this is a biggie. So the Microsoft 365 suite you can get for $70 or $100 a month, that allows you to install it on your computer. They have a web version of those apps that's absolutely free. This is a hyperlink. So when you get this presentation, you can click on that and go start using it. You won't be able to install it locally on your computer, but it looks pretty much the same and it runs in a browser. Then once you land, Microsoft has a workplace discount program. It used to be called the Home Use Program. When you land, go to this link. Enter your work email address. If your employer is participating, you'll get an email from Microsoft to save 30% on your M365 subscriptions. If you already have one, you'll get it on renewal. Next bullet. This is for life. Even if you leave the company, that discount you'll have for life. It's amazing. And when you're part of the program, you can also buy Visio and Microsoft Project, which are not part of Office, for $15 each. Those are $300 programs. So there's also some Microsoft Office alternatives out there. LibreOffice and OpenOffice.org are both open source and free, and they'll read and write and kind of look like Office. And then, of course, you got Google Workspace, formerly known as G Suite. Docs, Sheets, and Slides will read Word, Excel, and PowerPoint file formats, but with a lot of limitations. There's a lot of things that it doesn't support. So you import something with certain features, they'll get stripped out. So just be aware of that. All right, you can get 10% off Dell computers. HP has discounts. Lenovo has discounts. And now we get into the job search resources. So the next 15 slides or so are the URLs that I've collected while in job search, sorted by category. This is my AI slide. So you got ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude. There's 3 different AI presentations, And we recorded these people at North Dallas and uploaded them to Jeff's Career USA YouTube channel. Here are the links. And Rusty came back recently, and so there's the updated link. I would start with that one. Rusty is the master of the prompt. He gets in the weeds, and it's really, really good. But I would check out all three. Here's some others. Humanize AI. That's the fifth thing I've pinned in my Chrome. I take the output of any AI, and I go here, and I put it in, I push a button, and it humanizes it. Makes it indistinguishable from human language. And it has buttons at the top for more formal, less formal, etc. And it's free. It's great. Prompts are big news these days, and there's a marketplace for them, believe it or not. PromptBase is where you can go and buy a prompt. They're cheap. They're $1, $2. So yeah, there's an eBay for prompts. And then there's an AIforthat.com. I need to update this. There are now 38,000 AI engines out there. ChatGPT was just the first. The world is adding 200 to 600 AIs per month. You can go here and search Excel, and it'll give you all the AIs specific to Excel. You can put in job seeker. It'll show you the AI specific to job seekers. It's true. So check that out. All right, next category, assessments. Clifton Strengths, you've all heard about it. Here's a presentation by Brandy Shade. She's the local expert on that, along with our friend out at South Lake. Crystal, Disc, Hogan, they're all there. Now we got job websites. These are the ones that you've probably heard of. Here are the specialty sites. I just added these top two last night. AIjobs.ai, AIjobs.com. Whole websites just for AI jobs, if you're interested in that. And then we got entry-level jobs. We got freelance jobs, recent grads, idealist, social impact jobs. I mean, there's something for everybody. Law, overseas, USA, well-found, startups. So I added this one last night. I've got so many remote job sites, it now gets its own page. These are all remote or remote and hybrid sites where you can go and find remote work if that's your thing. Here's some tools and research. I think there's 3 of these. William McLaughlin, where are you? Thank you very much. He gets the prize for number 1, A Life After Layoff. It's a great YouTube channel.
That
Thank you,
is,
William.
yeah.
We've got, of course, careerdfw.org. There's both the website that has the calendar that you all should be looking at every Sunday night to see what's coming up for the week to fill your calendar. But there's also a YouTube playlist of recordings. The link there takes you over to YouTube, and Jeff records practically everything. And so you can go back in time and see everything that's out there. Careerflow.ai, I added that last night. That's an AI resume thing. It also has a LinkedIn optimizer, which is something I had not seen a lot of. More research. So this Forbes Top 150 executive recruiting firms, you can't find that if you don't have the URL. If you go to Forbes, search for it, you can't find it. You have to have the URL. So you have to share that if you tell somebody about it. They can't just go to Forbes and search for it. Here's one of the AIs that are specific to PowerPoint, Gamma AI. It's free and paid. It'll create a PowerPoint. For those of you who go to South Lake, you know that a couple months ago, we freshened the look of our PowerPoint in the opening session. That was Gamma AI, courtesy of Theresa. Glassdoor, believe it or not, we had a leadership team member at SFG get a job at Glassdoor. I thought it was just looking at, ratings, whether you want to work there, looking at the culture. But she found a job on Glassdoor, so don't overlook that. Huru. We did little dog and pony with chat, but it was all text. Huru is video. You can talk to somebody on your screen, a bot, but an avatar will interview you on screen with Huru.
Wow.
Yeah. More research tools. There's another free and paid AI interview practice. The org, public org charts. If you're interviewing with a public company, you want to see where somebody is on the org chart, you can go there. And there's the last of it. All right. LinkedIn, because it's LinkedIn, it gets its own page. So there's lots of recorded videos from LinkedIn Tuesday. Thank you, Jeff. Here is the LinkedIn tips. If you see Terry Sullivan, make sure you check that out. Canva, good for lots of things. A lot of people don't know it's a headshot editor. So if you have a headshot and there's stuff behind you, you can use it like Photoshop, and it'll get rid of the stuff behind you or change the background if you got like a tree coming out of your ear. And then if you saw Terry and lost the link, for those that see his presentation, he's got a speakwithterry.com where you can sign up for a free discovery call for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and he'll go through your LinkedIn profile with you for free. Networking. Here are all the networking groups that I found in the area. A lot of these are known and on the CareerDev org calendar, but a lot of them are not. So check these out. William, you get a shout out for ABTP again. And there's a lot of these. So FEI, FANG, if you're in the finance side. A lot of the groups use Meetup. They don't have their own website. They don't have their own scheduling. So go to Meetup and put in Dallas Fort Worth or just Fort Worth and find things in your area. All right, a couple more slides. Somebody asked me recently how you export your LinkedIn contacts. I did not know you could do this. It was very fun. It's buried in settings and privacy for some reason. So click on me, settings and privacy, and then get a copy of your data. Choose connections and then click request archive. You'll then get an email. It took me 10 to 15 minutes to get mine because I have quite a few. But then you get a CSV. And the fun part is it's in chronological order of when you invited them. So I could go back in time and see the very first person I invited on LinkedIn 20 years ago or however long it's been. Eric. Okay. Did I steal your thunder? All right. And finally, a bonus website. So last year, NPD had 2.9 billion records stolen, and it's now in the news again, starting a month or two ago. They're talking about how they took that data and other data troves that were stolen, put it all together, and republished it all in one place. So now it's a lot bigger than this. And unfortunately, that spawned a lot of nefarious sites who are offering to search that data for you. You put in your social security number, your name, and what do? They steal it. So I found 2 breach checks that are valid. They will not hack you. So you can click on either one of these and see if you're in there. I was. My wife was. So, and my dad. So I have frozen our credit so that somebody can't create an account without my knowledge. So be sure to check those out. All right. Now time for questions and feedback. I invite you to follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on X. I publish 2 or 3 tips a month. I will not spam you. But as you can see, I live for tips and tricks. I've been collecting them for years. And most importantly, if you have tips that you didn't see that you think need to go in here, please reach out to me on LinkedIn and send them to me, and I'll get them added. Thank you. William,
We have questions. Of course we, ladies first.
Yes, ladies.
D.
Hey, D.
Hi, Foster. Matt, this is phenomenal. It's my second time seeing it, and I still have questions for you. I'll take offline. But I want to visit the AI component because I had a lesson learned that I want to share with everyone. I asked ChatGPT to generate a party invitation, and it did. And then I said, keep everything the same, add a line that says, bring your own lawn chair at the bottom of the page in small font. It changed my address, and street name went from DR Drive to DO. So be very, very careful when you ask it to change something. Do not assume that everything else has remained unchanged, even though I specifically loved everything about it and said, leave everything the same, just add this one line. So just a word of caution to people.
Interesting. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
William,
All right.
I feel like
Just
among friends. I think I know half the people in the room. This is very fun. Thanks for having me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's my job.
It also means I've been here far too long. So I'm looking forward to quitting my day job.
I feel you there. Well, I wanted to say that I didn't see, there was one training course website that I did not see on there, on the list.
Which was?
KHAN academy.org.
Okay. Would you send that to me on LinkedIn?
You bet. I can
I'll get it
do that
added.
for sure.
Thank you, William.
Do they pronounce that Khan Academy?
Khan. KHAN, yes, Khan. It's pronounced Khan, correct. Yeah, and because the difference between that and Coursera, let me add this, I think everything on Khan Academy is free if I remember correctly. Because remember on Coursera, they have both courses that are free and some that require payment.
They're all free through your local library.
Oh,
Yep.
Right.
yeah.
And you can get a free online library card at the Houston Library. Meredith taught me that, and I've signed up for Libby, which is.
Get the book yet?
I'm on a waiting list. I got to wait 5 weeks. I'll bet you have it. So you need to finish up and release it for me. But very cool. Thank you for that tip.
Hi, Matt.
Muthu.
Yeah, I have the quick check. I saw that the last slide, you're showing that the link to find out the breach. Yeah, right. So to identify the data breach. In case if you have got data breach out, how to retrieve or safeguard or any other option to do. No, for example, our data is breached out. So what is the alternative to protect?
It's difficult. There are some companies like deleteme.com you can subscribe to that claim to scrub your data.
Okay.
That's probably the best one. They have 75 data stores in their list.
Okay.
And they'll do it on a regular basis.
Okay.
But it can't be everything. And it certainly isn't going to pertain to this, which is on the dark web. So the best thing you can do is, be careful, about what you share and with who. And then sign up, as we discussed, with credit monitoring services.
Okay.
And if you find through these sites that your information is out there, freeze your credit. It's easy to do. It's a click of a button. You can download their apps, TransUnion and the others, and turn it on and off. So if you go buy a car, you turn it off, they let it through, and then you turn it back on again.
Okay. So other site is deleteme.com, right? Something. You said the site called deleteme.com, right?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You said something.
Called deleteme.com.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
So
There's several of them, but that's the broadest one. The next closest one only has like 30 data stores.
Okay.
For a 20% discount, use the code layoff.
Layoff, huh? Okay, deleteme.com.
Layoff on all letters because you can get a discount on that.
20% discount layoff.
Use the code layoff. It's from the YouTube channel that he mentioned earlier, Live After Layoff.
There you go.
Oh, okay. That is on. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Worth the price of admission.
Sure. So the Khan Academy, I don't think so they'll give any certificate. Free trainings will be provided by Khan Academy. I know. But are they providing any certificate similar to Coursera? I don't think so.
I'll have to check on that.
Okay.
But do your own research on that. I would advise.
Okay, yeah. So, thank you.
Anybody else? Going once?
Going once.
I want the QR code. The first QR code. I came late.
Okay.
There.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.